Okay, so here's a requested video of the Hinderer K-bar pommel and how it's constructed. Um, some people had a concern with the single screw that holds on the pommel. So what I did was I just simply took it apart and just want to do a video on how this is made and give everyone a little bit closer up look of the construction of the Hinderer K-bar pommel. So we've got some nice scales bolted on. I'm not going to take the scales off unless somebody wants me to do another video on that, and I'm not going to take this off as well. But there was a lot of concerns with the original K-bar, how it was built, and the original pommel on the original K-bar basically had something like this, but then it had a pin going through the tang, and the tang came out the end. On this version of the K-bar, we don't have the tang coming out of the end. We have a nice solid aluminum piece here. This is not hollow. This is nice, solid, machined, high quality aluminum. A little dusty. Looks like there's a little oil in there yet. And I went and grabbed my little tool kit here because I wasn't sure what size I needed. And I pulled out the first one that I thought was the right size, and it's a oh boy, I don't know what size it is here. It says China 2 on it, and that's all it says, but it's a Allen, and this was only finger tight. This was not in there very tight. And actually, when I noticed when I did the review, I took the pommel and I was actually able to move it a little bit. So this was not on there very tight at all. I think, if you wanted to really make sure this is never going to come out of here, put some Loctite on this little screw here. And it looks like there might actually be a little Loctite on there. Maybe just a little tiny bit. But basically, I was able to turn this out just by hand, just with this. So I'm not going to put this back in there on camera because it is going to be a little awkward. And I don't want to scratch anything up. So I think all the hardware here is the same size. So let's take a closer look at this. I think this is a great design. I don't see that this is welded on there. This is a solid piece machined right out of the tang. So this is not a weakness because it's one piece here. And honestly, guys, comparing this to the original K-bar, if the original K-bar piece came off, you were batoning it or whatever, you lost this piece, what would happen with the original K-bar is the handle would actually slide off the tang, and the finger guard would also be loose because it's held on by the handle, just kind of pushed up there. So honestly, worst case scenario, if you were to lose this and this did come loose in the field, and let's say you're in combat or something, you could still absolutely use this knife because the scales aren't coming off, the hilt isn't coming off, or whatever you call this piece. But it's it's not going to fall apart. This knife is not going to fall apart. If you lose that screw and this thing falls off, this knife is absolutely still going to do what it's designed to do for you. So I think this is a great design, very strong. You know, if you put that on with some Loctite, and you could actually probably, if you wanted to, you could probably epoxy this on too. Put a little bit of epoxy maybe in the hole, maybe on the scales here a little bit, and just kind of, in a sense, glue this on. You could even put a little glue inside the threads if you wanted to, and then run that screw in there. And just make sure that screw doesn't come out, and you know, you'll be fine. I will screw it in like this though, just to kind of see. So it definitely has some really nice threads. This isn't loose. There's no play, there's no slop in there. I can spin that out by hand. So absolutely a really beautiful design. Compared to the original K-bar, if that pin came out and the pommel came off, then your handle scales would slide off the rat tail tang. And you know, on here you still are going to have a handle. If this thing came off, your handle is still here. So I think it's a great design. I think it's an improvement from the original design by far. Do I think you should beat on this with a hammer or something like that? No, I don't. If you wanted to have somebody machine this for you out of some really strong material other than aluminum, yeah, you could probably pound on this all day then. I think this is a really great design, to be honest with you. Very nice and clean. And guys, that's my 7-minute video, requested video on the Hinderer K-bar pommel. And that is absolutely not welded on there. That is machined right out of the original piece. And it fits very nice. These two pieces fit very nice together. There's no very little play in that. You know what? Maybe I will just put this back together on camera here. And I'm just going to tighten it just by hand, just like that. Definitely don't want to strip anything out. You know what? That's solid. And that's not even tightened with a handle. That's just with this. That is very, very solid. But guys, that's a great design. I like the knife even more now, seeing that design. Well guys, that's the Hinderer K-bar. In my opinion, the best version of the K-bar ever done. I hope this video was helpful for anyone looking to make a purchase of this knife. 3V K-bar by Hinderer. Thank you guys. Please subscribe and like and share and comment. Thank you.